Welcome guys to our third part of the rebuild of the HP2. As you see, I have already disassembled the rear frame, the swing arm you have seen, and the airbox. So the part to get here is not really difficult on the HP2 compared to a GS. I would say it's maybe twice the job than on a HP2. To tell you something, what I have done, you just need to unmount the clutch giver and then some screws. So I would say it's maybe like around 20 screws to get here, and then just to figure out how to get the frame out. I have stored already the frame just to protect for scratches. I'm still thinking maybe I will paint it new or leave it like it is. We will see in the meantime when I will do the rebuild, and yeah, let's show what I have seen till now for you. So guys, this is the airbox. You see it's a little bit dirty on the outside, but what also is a little bit not the best is also, you see here, it's also inside a little bit of dust and dirt. On the other side it looks like that. So it's something, I think, to the condition that are in South Africa. As on the in South Africa, it's, as you know, maybe a little bit dustier than in Europe, or you have also more possibilities. And if you fell down on the bike, then some oil will be getting in over this nozzle, because this is the engine breather. So it gets here in and then can be flashed around the intake. So I hope you see it inside. So yeah, I will need to clean this. It's not hard to get it out. It's really here, the screw. So you see the rubber needs to be also exchanged because it's broken. I will exchange all of them just in case that one gets broken. And then you have here too. So in real are four mounts. Then one pipe here, the connector needs to be disconnected, and then of course the gas lines, the throttle lines, sorry. And just to pull it, I pulled this out and take the throttle cables out and just leave it like that. So yeah, I will clean that and see how I will proceed about that. I have a spare one in my roof, but I will use this one just to clean it out, make it beautiful again, like it was new. So about the engine itself, I can tell you, you see it here, also the throttle bodies of course are dirty and have a lot of dust inside. So yeah, we'll need to disassemble them and clean them, and maybe also put them in parts and clean that. Inside, I can say, in the intake, it's quite nice. So it's not dirty or anything. So I can say it was maybe run also with a good fuel. And what I can tell you is that the gearbox was recently out, because most of the screws were with Loctite, and I can say also some of them with quite fresh Loctite, and a lot of it. So it was too much Loctite on some screws of them, and it was like a little bit juicy when you unscrew them, and I wasn't sure, oh man, I hope it's not sticking inside. This is the clutch presser, and you see here is also a new mounted Filz in German they call it. So because normally with this agent, when you use this, then it gets dirtier. So I think something was done to the bike or to the engine or just only to the gearbox. This one looks not really unscrewed, but we will see this today when I unscrew the gearbox and take it off. The other side of the throttle body is looking quite good compared to the other one. But yeah, we'll clean it anyway, just to have everything tidy and nice later. So, of course, you have everywhere the South African dust, also on the alternator. It looks like that. So, yeah, I will take this one off, put a clean one in, and we'll disassemble this one and change the bearings and clean it to have it really nice and tidy. So yeah, that's the engine, that's the bike. And yeah, you see here is not the original oil cooler mounted. It's just the reason because I wanted to start it fast, and yeah, this is why I have mounted the Mega Moto and not the original, because at the time I didn't have an original Enduro cooler. And I will think about it. Maybe I will leave it here, the Mega Moto one, or I will mount the Enduro one. This is something I'm not sure, as the temperature on the original one are quite higher than this one, because I would say this one has, let's say 30% more cooling capacity than the stock one. Also, I changed the engine mount because it was too slippy on the other one mount, and I wanted to be sure. And this one is a cool thing because it's stable and it will not move anywhere. So yeah, that's all about for now, and let's take the gearbox off. So now we have disconnected the gearbox from the engine, and let's have a look what we have, how the status is. It's, as I said, it's a little bit dirty. We will clean that out and everything will be fine. The clutch looks like it's the first one, so it was also really hard to disassemble this because it got here a little bit rusty on the rotation pins, and yeah, needed a little bit of help of the hammer, but everything looks good. The screw that is here on the lower, this was also a tricky part because there was not really an access to unscrew it, and yeah, it was like maybe a half spin to round it, so it was really difficult. But yeah, let's have a look. So we have here the clutch. It's the same clutch as you use it on the GS or RT or R in these times, and nothing really special on this part. But here on this part, all other 1200 R engines or R1200 engines, so in the RT, GS, R, and yeah, there are many different types where it was used. They have here a balancing shaft. The balancing shaft is only on the HP2 Enduro missing. Some people think it's also on the Mega Moto, but the Mega Moto has in real the same engine as the ST. and it's just only a different header on the Mega Moto, and not really something special. But most people think it has a balancing shaft, but it don't has. But it has. So yeah, this is the gearbox. The shaft looks quite good, I would say. I hope you can see it. And yeah, here we have the briefer, and on the rear end we have the gear indication that it says 1, 2, neutral, and 3, 4, 5, 6. Here we have the auto shaft, and here for the gear lever, and here's the hole for the starter. So yeah, now I will disassemble the clutch and let's have a look what is behind that. I have really all parts already to assemble this and to do the things. Maybe I will do it now. Let's see how I will proceed. But yeah, that's all about the engine. So the engine on the HP2 Enduro is the only engine that was provided without the balancing shaft. What people think it's more different, but in real the cylinder and the heads are the same as used on the GS at this time, and only the crankcase is different because they didn't cut here the hole through to the balancing shaft hole. So then you have the ST engine that was used and shared with the HP2 Mega Moto. They have a little bit difference of 3 PSs, but in real the whole engine is the same. It's just only a mapping and a different header, because the Mega Moto has the S header mounted and the ST has a stock GS header, so the diameter is a little bit different than on S. So yeah, then you have an S engine. This is from the R1000S. This means that we have a bigger head. It's not really bigger head, it's just only the intake is bigger. The valves are inside a little bit bigger. The cylinder is the same with the piston. The crankcase is the same as GS and everything else. And then you have the HP2 Sport from this time that has the first dual camshaft head. It was a really sporty engine, lightweight rods, pistons, and this is why it has also a maintenance interval to rebuild the engine after 50,000 kilometers. Some people don't do it. BMW say do it please, but yeah, it's up to you, because some people doing it after 20,000 if they run on the racetrack. So yeah, that's all about the engine. So we have taken apart the clutch, and if you see, it's a little bit, yeah, it's used, let's say so. It's not in the best condition, so I think I will change that maybe for a new one, just to be sure that this is nice and tidy, because it has already some marks of use, and I don't want to disassemble this bike again, because it was, yeah, it has already some flakes, you know. Same on this side, you see, it has already also some marks of usage, and yeah, that don't look nice, let's say so. I could put it in, but however, I don't want it. I will see what a friend will say about that, but here you see already some heat stress, so it was already Not sure if you can see it. Here you see some marks of heat. So yeah, the clutch by itself, it don't look so bad, let's say so. But yeah, this will be anyway thrown out because I will get a center clutch in. Much more and better performance, you know. So yeah. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope we will see it next time. So goodbye.